All right, let's jump straight into this. If you're out there commissioning work, managing contractors, or running procurement, you've definitely wrestled with this massive shift in the AI landscape. In this explainer, we're doing a deep dive into a really critical advisory topic: why the impossible no AI mandate is, well, completely failing your business. And more importantly, how we can build a modern, actually pragmatic ethical standard for your vendors. We're going to unpack a brilliant, hard-hitting analysis by leadership expert Andrew Jacobs. We're going to totally dismantle that outdated "I didn't use AI" defense and give you a framework that actually protects your professional investments. Let's get into it. So let's address the massive elephant in the room right off the bat. What does no AI actually mean? You see clients and partners writing these strict no AI clauses into their contracts, basically demanding completely AI-free deliverables. But as seasoned professionals, we have to ask, is that even physically possible anymore? I mean, when someone demands no AI, what are they really asking for? The final output? The workflow? The initial brainstorm? As we'll see through Jacobs' analysis, this super vague contractual demand is just creating a huge vulnerability because it completely ignores how modern digital work actually happens. Real quick, here is our roadmap for today's session. 1. The no AI myth. 2. Where is the line? 3. Defensible versus indefensible use. And 4. The disclosure standard. Okay, kicking things off with part 1, the no AI myth. Now, Jacobs makes an absolutely unavoidable point here. You didn't consciously decide to work in an AI-enabled environment, but the second you open your laptop, you are right in the middle of one. I mean, short of going back to a vintage typewriter and a dusty filing cabinet, you are using AI. It's already baked right into your search engine, it's humming along in the background of your word processor, it's literally integrated into your browser, your grammar checker, and your research platforms. So if a vendor tries to prove a clean workflow, actually, scratch that. If they even attempt to do that, they'd have to list every single app and browser extension they touch. The whole no AI workflow is a total myth, because the absolute baseline of modern computing is already intelligent. So because we realistically cannot ban AI from the workflow, the entire focus has to shift to the deliverable itself. Right now, this phrase, human reviewed, is being thrown around and accepted as a contractual reassurance. A vendor runs a prompt, gets some AI output, gives it a quick skim, and hands it to you. But as your advisor, I have to stress this. Reviewing is vastly different from creating. Jacobs points out that most of the work we're seeing right now sits in this incredibly murky middle ground. It's not fully machine-generated, but it's for sure not entirely human-created either. And honestly, that ambiguity is a massive risk when you are paying top dollar for original expert work. Which brings us directly to part 2. Where is the line? Look, if the phrase "I didn't use AI" is pure fiction, we've got to replace it with a functional reality. We have to ask exactly what counts as acceptable research support versus straight-up unauthorized automation when you're paying for professional guidance. As an executive or anyone commissioning work, you need a crystal clear boundary to hand over to your teams and external partners. So let's look at exactly how Jacobs defines that boundary. All right, moving into part 3, defensible versus indefensible use. Let's break this down. This right here is the contrast you need to start enforcing literally today. First, you have defensible AI use. Think of something like source discovery. Using a tool like Perplexity as an informed aggregator to get a lead list, that's totally fine, because the human then manually opens every single source, checks it, and decides if it's relevant. The AI gathered the stuff, but the human did the thinking, right? Now, on the flip side, we have indefensible AI use. This is the quiet, undisclosed use of AI to draft, rewrite, edit, refine, or even proofread the final deliverable. If your vendor is secretly using AI to generate the actual words you are paying them for and they aren't telling you, absolutely not. That entirely crosses the line. And this really hits the philosophical core of our consultation today. You have to constantly remind your vendors that you are paying for their unique human expertise and their specialized judgment. You are not just paying for the generation of text. I mean, think about it. If you just wanted a polished document full of words, you could prompt an AI yourself for free. When you commission professional guidance, you are buying a human brain's ability to weigh nuances, understand deep context, and apply hard-won experience. Using AI to silently write or refine that work literally dilutes the exact expertise you are paying to access in the first place. Okay, bringing us home with part 4, the disclosure standard. The new ethical standard moving forward absolutely has to be disclosure. Here is exactly what we advise clients to mandate in all their new contracts. You've got to shift away from that blanket no AI ban, which, again, we already established is impossible, and instead demand strict disclosure. Step 1. Agree on the boundaries of AI use before the project even kicks off. Step 2. Require vendors to keep detailed AI use logs. And Step 3. Ensure that all AI use is fully auditable. It's all about bringing total transparency back into the procurement process. Let's get super granular on those audit requirements because this is absolutely crucial. Your vendors must be able to provide the exact data. It is no longer acceptable for them to just wave a hand and say, "Oh, I used it for research." No way. You need to know the specific tool, exactly when they used it, and how that output was integrated into your work. But the real accountability, it happens right here. You need to expose the exact queries they ran. You need to see the specific prompts and instructions they used. And most importantly, you have to know the parameters they put in place to stop the AI from overreaching into that final deliverable. This level of auditing is what guarantees the human is still firmly in the driver's seat. This quote from Andrew Jacobs just perfectly nails the paradigm shift that every single C-suite executive, manager, and procurement team has to accept if they want to protect their investments. Saying, "I didn't use AI" won't cut it anymore. You did use it. We have to stop accepting the fiction of the AI-free workflow. Like Jacobs bluntly says, you did use it. It's in the browser, it's in the grammar checker, it's literally everywhere. The conversation with our contributors and vendors shouldn't be about avoiding AI. It needs to be about governing it with total, uncompromising transparency. So, I want to leave you with this final, really important thought to ponder for your own business practices. If we are the ones paying for the work, we absolutely 100% need to understand exactly how and where these tools were used. The age of AI avoidance, it's over. The age of AI disclosure is here. So take a hard look at your current contracts. Are you still asking for the impossible? Or are you going to restructure your next vendor agreement to ensure true, auditable AI disclosure?